Agreed. Greetings and salutations.
The universe is just doomed. 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 Doomed.
Welcome back.
It's us, Nicole.
And Tessa.
And Kim is here as we never decided.
We never did we?
The
right.
left
yeah,
titty.
She's the left titty.
Or is
the
she
right
hidden?
titty.
She's the right titty. She stays hidden till the end.
She's in the hidden zone
Ooh.
of the forbidden zone.
So this is a lesser known film, I'm going to say.
Known. Yeah.
Hopefully y'all, you Tubi heads out there, we know you're out there.
I'm one of them.
Have caught Forbidden Zone from 1980, the director's cut.
Did you catch it?
On Tubi. Did you catch it? It was coming right for you.
You need those antibiotics now.
This is a movie that I bet everyone, when they were done, needed some antibiotics.
Antibiotics, yeah. And a butt wax.
Back crack and sack.
Yes. I did not need those hairy ass cracks being shaken at me in that manner. I'll tell you that.
So this is one that actually, this is Nicole, and you know how little I remember seeing a movie in the theater.
Right.
But this one stands out for me because, and I have the ticket, I got to find it. I believe it was 1998. My friend Erica, who was my English teacher in high school, and her younger brother Sean, who I'm still friends with both of them on Facebook. They took me to a midnight showing because they were big Oingo Boingo fans and they knew all of the Elfman lore, the
Elfman lore.
And they were already aware of this.
Right.
I don't even know if you can call it a cult classic if enough people have seen it for it to be.
I don't know.
Definitely a cult musical.
Well, yeah, that's for sure.
So they took me to this midnight showing at CinemaStar.
Mm-hmm. That
when
one
they
over
did that
there
whole
on
series,
University or whatever,
of midnight.
that's where they would do those things.
Mm-hmm. And Richard Elfman was there in person to give commentary. Right. So he sat in the audience and he didn't narrate the whole thing.
That's right. The commentary. Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah. And so he sat in the audience and kind of just gave his 2 cents about why certain things were the way they were. And now it wasn't as significant to me in the moment. I knew who Danny Elfman was and I knew this was his brother, but at 18 years old, I didn't retain all of the different stuff he said.
Smile at you.
I didn't know I was going to have a movie podcast someday where I needed to be
you would
aware
have to remember the
memories of the moments. But what does stand out is that he mentioned that his daughter-in-law, which in the moment I thought he said daughter, and maybe he did,
right,
was on a new TV show. That was coming out, and then when Dharma and Greg came out, for years I thought Jenna Elfman was Richard Elfman's biological daughter, and I could not figure out how
she looked like that.
Why she was so beautiful.
I know how she got so cute.
I was like, I don't understand. She does not look in any way. There's no big teeth. There's no big scary eyes.
Big teeth, but they're not scary. How did she manage not to look like the fucking guy from Pinocchio?
Right, but it took me years to realize she's just married to his son.
she's married in. That's how come she looks like that.
But I swear he said my daughter.
Well, I mean, she's his daughter, whatever.
So yeah, I don't know if they had already been married for a while. So
whatever.
And I feel like he did a little meet and greet thing in the lobby afterwards, and probably Erica and Sean went up and I think they got something signed, they had a poster or something.
But again, you didn't.
But
think
again,
you were gonna have
didn't
have a Red Hot Chili Peppers.
No, I didn't have any Red Hot Chili Peppers available for him to sign. I didn't. If only I had.
That's gotta be your thing from now on. Anytime
I
we
should
go
have just taken that same
signed.
Red Hot Chili Peppers poster to anyone I ever.
That's what I'm saying. Get everybody to sign it. You should just
all the
need to
most
get a Red
random
Hot Chili
autographs.
Peppers poster and just get people to sign it.
I'm gonna one day I will track down who the fuck gave me or not gave me who
who
gave that poster to. So anyway,
I gotta see it.
So this is directed by Richard Elfman.
Yes.
Music by Oingo Boingo.
Yes.
Also partially written by what's his name?
Matthew Bright.
Bright
or Toshiro Baloney.
Toshiro Baloney, as he's credited in this film.
Mm-hmm.
Because he plays the Henderson twins.
Right, the Henderson twins, Squeez-It and Renee.
And now I didn't write, I was telling her before we started, I didn't write the complete cast because I had not seen this in a really long time and I could not remember who was important.
Well, I did, and then I went back and highlighted. So, also we need to mention that Matthew Bright is a childhood friend of
Of the
Richard
Elfmans,
Elfman,
okay.
and also did Freeway and Freeway 2.
That's right. And there was another
and
one.
Tiptoes.
The
right?
one, the weird one with Gary
Oldman. Isn't
Oldman.
it? He plays a little person.
I refuse to watch it.
I know, like on the ground.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
No, Peter Dinklage is going to show up and be like, no.
No, fake little. That's right.
Oh, he's in it. He still says no.
As a drunken French man.
Okay.
Of course.
Of course he is.
Matthew did something else too.
Oh, did he?
Shit, 1 second.
I thought there was one. No,
I thought there was-
Tiptoes and Freeway. I thought that was it.
And this.
And this.
Well,
With Reese Witherspoon and then something with. Oh, the other. I'll get to it.
Okay.
that's Freeway and Freeway 2.
And now is
It was because it was a different actress in them.
Yeah.
Tasha Leone.
Right, that's what it was.
is Marie-Pascale Elfman, was she married to Richard Elfman?
At the time.
They're still best friends.
Oh, they're still buddies.
All right.
Well, she plays Frenchie and Susan B. Hercules.
I think that's the same person.
Oh, is it? They just
Susan
call her
B.
that?
Frenchie Hercules.
Got it.
Yeah.
Gene Cunningham as Ugh-Fudge Banana as Pa Hercules and Huckleberry P. Jones.
The names.
I know.
You guys, if you haven't seen this is not going to be easy for us to get through.
it's really not. Virginia Rose as Ma Hercules.
The next one I have is Susan Tyrell as Queen Doris of the Sixth Dimension.
Yes, and she also plays Ruth Henderson.
Yes, yeah.
And Richard Elfman talked her into being in this movie, and she brought along Hervé Villechaize as King Fausto of the Sixth Dimension, and they were apparently a couple.
Because she did what now?
She reversed Midge.
That's right, y'all. You guys remember
Reverse
Susan Tyrell?
Midge. That's what she was doing research for the port.
The port. And Big Top Pee-wee as Midge.
Right?
She
She
was
had
like,
it all
"What's
worked
like
out.
to date a small person?"
Well, though, she had it all worked out. All of those questions that we had,
She already knew the
she
answers
already knew
to.
the answers to. But
We saw
just
some
can't-
of them happen live on screen.
We did a little bit. We did a little,
Some
a
of those
little
size
bit.
questions. A little bit.
But yes, they were apparently a couple at one time, and she brought him along to be in this movie because Richard Elfman talked her into doing it.
Got it. I have Gisele Lindley as the
The
princess.
princess, Matthew Bright, Herman Bernstein as the old Yiddish man, and the only reason I wrote him down is because that's their grandfather.
In real life?
Uh-huh.
Bernstein or Bernstein?
Bernstein. Oh, stop it. It is January. I don't know what timeline. We got sucked into the fucking Bernstein timeline somehow, and I don't like it here.
Did you already say who was Flash and Gramps? Because I didn't write them down.
Oh, shit. Hold on. I got a
Flash,
bunch of sexy
Hercules.
students.
Flash Hercules had to be older than the guy who played
Flash.
Gramps.
That's Paul Gordon. Or
Okay.
Phil Gordon. Sorry, excuse me. And that was apparently, he was his Richard Elfman's real estate broker.
What?
He was his real estate broker. And they made money like flipping houses or doing real estate or whatever. Richard Elfman and Marie-Pascale.
And that's how they got the money
And that's
to
how they
finance
got the
this
money,
film?
but then they ran out of money. And so I guess that's why because they knew Phil Gordon from that. So they were like, you want to be in this movie as Flash? Or no, not Flash.
Was that
He's-
Gramps?
Yeah, Flash or Gramps. Yeah.
Gramps was the, okay.
Of the younger guy. Or Pa. Or wait, no. Fuck. Hyman Diamond as Gramps was the one that was the
Okay.
real estate broker.
Got
Phil
it.
Gordon is just Flash Hercules.
Okay.
He was the older guy, right?
Yes.
That's
he
why I got
seemed-
confused.
Yes, he was supposed to be her brother, but he
Right,
was
right.
like the oldest of
he
all
was
of them.
the old guy, but Hyman Diamond, who plays Gramps, was the real estate
Which is
broker.
probably why he had no speaking parts.
Right.
They were like, he's not an actor.
They were
just
like,
sit him
he
in the
just
corner.
right. They're just gonna have him in there. And then I also have written down Joe Spinell as the drunken sailor that shows up.
Oh, to bang his mom, to bang the
the
Henderson's mom.
And I only wrote him down because he's the maniac guy. It's Maniac, right? The one where he takes the scalps. Maniac, not. Yeah.
Don't know.
He is.
Take your word for it.
Yeah, he is.
Danny Elfman as the devil.
Satan of the Mystic Knights of the Oingo Boingo. It is? It's Maniac. Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, that one too. Still scalping.
Maniac 2 still scalping.
That's what they called it, right? And then Richard Elfman is the Monsieur.
Which I don't remember that part when I saw it in the theater. But also when I saw it in the theater, it was still black and white. And I feel like there was a couple pieces that weren't in the version that I saw.
Maybe not, but that was the other thing, was that it was in black and white, but then they wanted to get it sent somewhere to get it like hand colorized, but they ran out of money and they couldn't afford it. So what is it that they did?
It wasn't until like 2011 or something that they came out with this
colorized it.
version.
Yeah. So.
And the Kipper kids.
Oh, the Kipper kids. God damn it.
They were fucking, they're from stuff, but nothing that we know.
The Kipper kids.
They're wild.
They're wild.
And then that's all I have for the cast.
Kedrick Wolf as the chandelier and Miss Feldman, the school teacher.
Oh, the chandelier was the school teacher?
Yeah, the
Nice.
chandelier was the school teacher. Where the no Kipper no no. Oh yeah, Brian Routh was the Kipper kids was their name. Brian Routh.
There were two of them.
I just wrote Brian Routh.
I know. I'm scrolling. I'm not finding anything in there.
I
have it
wrote that.
up. I still have the
There we go,
IMD.
Martin von Hasselberg.
Martin von Hasselberg. I did not see that part.
And Brian
Routh. Okay.
Yes.
My bad. Sorry, y'all. I was like, that was both of them.
I was like, that's both their
They were
names?
standing
Weird.
next to each other.
He was also in UHF.
Oh, UHF. Okay.
Wow.
Oh, I have to see what he looks like normally
I see
when he
that's the
doesn't look
thing.
like an old cartoon character.
I know. Like, all of this is very much that.
So I guess before we even start, we might as well get into
Let's just say it.
the animated parts of this, and even some of the not animated parts of this.
Right.
Have got some general racism,
Right.
sexism, homophobic.
Know that he's not racist.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Richard
he wants
Elfman
you to
says on
know.
the commentary. Kim watched the commentary. He's
And
not
he
racist.
says specifically that.
I don't agree.
right.
Right.
I'm just saying that's what he said.
Right.
Because we start on Friday, April 17th, 4 p.m., Venice, California.
And we're
no
in Venice
year.
again.
Yeah, no indeterminate year.
Right.
Where Huckleberry P. Jones, local pimp,
Oh.
narcotics peddler, slumlord, was seen entering a vacant house that he owned.
Mm-hmm.
While stashing some heroin in the basement, he stumbled upon a mysterious door.
Naturally, he entered, only to find
A racist, half-animated opening scene of him running through the house.
Holy fuck!
So it's like, I'm pretty sure in the black and white version I saw that the dude who runs out of this house is in blackface. The animation is clearly blackface with the big old exaggerated lips.
the clownish, cartoonish, whatever. The boxing gloves on the hands.
But then when he pops out in this version, he's like in whiteface,
Right.
where there's black circles around his eyes and lips, but the face is stark white.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't remember that being what it looked like, but all right.
Yeah. Well, they went and got it colorized.
Yeah, they're like, well, just whiten him up. It's fine.
Sure. Yeah. No one's gonna know.
So he retrieves his heroin and promptly sells the place.
Of course.
Going down. And we get the music in this, it's fucking Oingo Boingo. Of course it's good. I mean,
Right,
it's all
this was
catchy. It's all good. That's the best
apparently
part of the
their
movie, probably.
First appearance as the Mystic Knights of Oingo Boingo.
Oh, really? First soundtrack.
It just said the first appearance of Oingo Boingo.
Okay.
It didn't qualify that with what I saw. It was just that.
And so you see like this animated journey to the Forbidden Zone,
Right.
over the opening credits. That
It gives me you can't do that on television.
I wrote the same fucking shit, girl. I
that
was like,
animation gives
yeah.
me like that's what it looks like to me.
especially the pipes and stuff because they did that.
And like all the little backgrounds and
Yep.
whatever. That's what it looks like to me.
Totally. So now 1 month later, the Hercules family moves in.
Sure. And at breakfast,
This is the grossest family.
I know, like everything looks like it stinks and everything looks like it's gross.
It's like it's almost John Watersy,
Yeah.
but even filthier.
Somehow it's grimy.
Like at least Divine always had a little bit of fashion, a little bit of, you
bit
know
of
what I mean? Like it
something.
was gross, but it wasn't I don't know. This is everyone
don't know,
stinks,
it's-
and nobody wears real clothes. Everyone's in their
No.
chonies,
Right.
a robe, or
Or
just their
something.
boxers.
I kept expecting to see a skid mark at some point.
I'm sure if you really,
I'm sure if
Really
you really
looked.
looked, they had it colorized out. Did
They-
you remember
they
it
took
from
out
the
all
black
them-
and white
they
version?
took out all
had-
them poo-poo
They
stains.
removed the skid marks.
They sure did.
From everybody's underpants.
They're like, if we're taking brown off of things, is it all one charge?
Oh.
Is the whitening all one fee?
No whitening.
We whiten these chonies while we're there.
Oh no.
And so this family is, the mother is like 90. She looks like
I
she's
know,
75
she's
years
with these-
old.
the eyebrows and the
And she's got divine
eyeshadow,
fucking
yeah.
makeup on. She's got Mimi Bobek.
Actress. She was the only one with a SAG card.
She was the only one with the
Wow.
SAG card. Ma was.
Ma was the only one with a SAG card, don't you know it?
And Pa is half her age, but they tried their damnedest to draw
I
some
know.
wrinkles onto him.
He looks like a like the old Popeye comics.
And
like a
also,
character from
and
that.
that reminds me of, he looks like the guy,
Hyman Diamond.
no, who was in the fucking Don't Worry, Be Happy. The video
the Bobby McFerrin
with Robin Williams.
Oh,
Popeye.
the squishy
the third
guy?
guy, yes. But something about his outfit and whatever, it reminds me, because he was in Popeye, right?
right.
Bill something.
Yeah, and he was, but yes, that was
Mm-hmm.
like his Popeye character, was that hat and that brown suit.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then
Interesting.
the brother Flash, who's like
Old.
60,
Yeah. That's where I got confused.
and
about-
Gramps, who's probably younger, but they threw a fake beard on him,
Yes,
and then Frenchie, who's beautiful and like 25,
of course.
She was 19.
19 she was. Wow,
And his wife at the time?
wow.
How old was he?
Let's find out how old he was.
Does it run in the family?
Likely.
Oh. And so they're like having their disgusting breakfast where Grandpa's like throwing
Right.
up in Flash's lap and whatever.
Ugh.
It's so gross. And they're talking about you got to tie Grandpa up before school because he nearly wandered into the forbidden zone. Now they've
They
only
said
lived
it.
here for a month.
Right, but they've already found. Well, you can't miss it.
And Frenchie, who is the sister but has been in France studying,
Somehow.
He was 30 years old.
he was 30 and she was 19. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the forbidden zone.
Yes. Only it wasn't forbidden back then.
Oh man, they're still best friends though.
Oh yeah, it's all fine. It's fine. It's fine. And so Frenchie hears mentions of the Forbidden Zone's like, ooh, tell me what's this all about?
What is it about?
Well, Squeeze-It's brother, who dresses like a broad,
yeah.
took him down to the basement. We went through. We went through the door and never came out. And
Right.
the dad's like, oh, don't you.
Don't you talk about
And
the
that's another like a cartoon thing, right? Like the way the way that song starts.
Yeah, because it's literally once his singing voice starts, it's the voice of Cab Calloway.
Yes.
Which, I mean, like I said to you earlier, I admit I only knew because of that Janet Jackson video, but you learn that they use it for a lot of like old cartoons. And that, what is it? Is it not the that ghost from the Betty Boop cartoons? Didn't they do like the rotoscope thing of him dancing?
Oh,
For
maybe.
that weird two-legged. Most things have two legs, but the thing that looks like
This many?
the little bendy this many, like this, Nicole, like this, how it does
Did
this.
it go? Did
It
in
does
the
like
corner?
this and went in a corner
dance?
and it
It's very-
danced.
What did you say? UBI works?
Or yeah, oh yeah, UBI works, not just UB works, but those old cartoons. I love all those old
Yeah.
cartoons.
Even though they're all
Well,
vaguely
I mean,
racist,
as long
but
as you
that's what we grew
vaguely,
up with.
vaguely, some of them are right on your fucking nose.
Yeah. So he sings a song. Dad sings a song about her. Don't ever go down
Don't-
there.
yeah,
Stay
don't do
away. And she does a little dance in the corner, and then they stop motion spin away from the table.
Right.
And my note here is this is where I quickly realized how hard this movie is to describe and discuss because
Sure.
more things have come on screen that
I know that I can't even like the background,
it's so much.
the way that this place looks.
There's so much to discuss.
It's like a demented puppet show.
it's part cartoon.
Yeah.
It's part stop motion.
Yeah.
I don't know whether they're really maybe not puppets per se, but like there's the Frogman, and then there's like the guys on stilts. So like
Yeah.
not puppet full on, but
The Mystic Knights tour, they started in France through like the circus scene. The street.
the Mystic
Oh.
Knight
Yeah.
started in the
So
circus.
a lot of that
Okay.
Oh,
So that's why that was probably them on the stilts and stuff.
Right. That makes a lot of sense.
So we cut immediately to the Kipper kids. What an introduction to the Forbidden
Right.
Zone.
With this.
These dudes in nothing but jock straps, and they have like drawn on stubble and little Hitler mustaches and glasses drawn onto their faces.
I wonder if Michael Alec took any of this as like inspiration for club kids.
I can't even redo the fucking.
I know. I
couldn't
not
even
gonna be
write
able to.
sounds to make the sounds of what they do.
I'm not even going to be able to.
And so while they're singing their little song, a frogman in a tuxedo appears, does a little dance.
Right.
And a bunch of girls are being tortured in a dungeon while the queen laughs in the center.
It's like like an old timey movie or cartoon, like where they would have the big old dance
of the devil,
numbers.
where like and sitting on the pile of dice. It's very what's that newer game that my kid plays? Cuphead.
That's what. Yeah. So all those cartoons that Cuphead is
that
based
style.
on, that's what it is.
Imagine that if you haven't seen this.
It's people doing that shit,
but in real life.
Yeah.
And the king's outside playing his trumpet to the music. And then back to the house. They stop motion spin back to the kitchen table. They go tie up Gramps and they head to school. And Ma starts to try to sing and she sings terribly. So Pa just like knocks her the fuck out. Act 1.
Act 1. End scene.
I don't know if that's really Act 1. I don't know how acts are broken up in
I don't either.
films. I'm
that's
terrible
an end
at that.
scene though.
End scene. So now cut to the school, which this is. They kind of make it almost seem like it's supposed to be fucking elementary school because they're learning the alphabet.
Right.
But these are all full-grown adult people. They made really no attempt whatsoever to make them look anything but.
Nope.
And one of the girls even comes to school in a bikini.
Right. Like everybody's all... There's like the people in the back like shooting dice and... dressed as pimps.
Before they even get inside, they run in to Squeeze-It in the trash can because Flash opens the trash to hock a loogie and Squeeze-It's in there. And Frenchie asks about his twin brother and he's like, it's not my brother, it's my sister. So hey, 1 point for pro
at least
trans identity because Squeeze-It
her
stands
brother
up for his sister. Like
her brother is like the only one though.
True. True. And then they, throw the F slur around at each other.
There's
you're
quite
F
a bit
slur.
of
No,
that.
you're F slur.
Yeah.
And Frenchie's just fascinated that the sister disappeared. She wants to know everything. And he's like, oh, well, last night my mother was punishing me again.
I know.
I begged her to stop hurting me, but she wouldn't. And it got so intense. I felt like I was leaving my body. And I had this vision of my sister and it was so real. So then we cut to Renee in the 6th dimension. And I don't know what is find out if you don't already know, Kim. Maybe they mentioned in the commentary. What is the deal with the fucking Mickey Mouse ears?
Oh, yeah.
Because this is a repeated thing.
There's a lot of that.
That the slaves, the favorite slaves of the king, wear Mickey Mouse ear hats. And I don't know if that's some sort of they wanted to throw in some Disney shade and maybe that was the only thing they could legally get away with. Right. They clearly grew up in LA because this is all LA centered. But so he has this vision of his sister in the 6th dimension, and she's playing what do you call that thing?
Oh, I know. I was trying to
it's strings, but it's on like a flat
like a
wood
little,
board.
A
zizzer?
A zizzer?
Maybe. I couldn't think of what the name was.
You could tell me it was a flim flam, and I'd be like, for
flim
real?
flam, yep.
For real?
And she's playing for the king and queen while being held at sword point on the dining room table by the frogman. Mm-hmm. And the king and queen are eating these giant sausages for dinner.
It's just
and making sexy faces at each other.
Surrealism. They really probably did this shit at home.
And the man chandelier.
The mandelier.
Do you guys ever see that scene in The Cell? Where he suspends himself from hooks for Vincent D'Onofrio. Imagine candles in each hand, candle like in a nice candle holder, and like candles on his feet. Yeah, kind of, but like wood and pretty zither. I think that's the same thing.
That looks right.
And he's their human chandelier up above,
a mandelier,
and the king gets up and just storms across the table to the queen. Gives her a little loving face touch. And then Renee sings that, I kept rubbing on the darn old thing. And the frogman cuts her ear off and eats it.
Yeah.
It's just like...
It's just wild.
None of this is going to make sense, you guys. I know it sounds like we're high.
Nope.
We are, but that's not why this is happening.
But that has nothing to do with what's going on.
And so the queen looks at her king 1,000 years, and I still can't get enough of my Fausto.
My Fausto.
So back to reality. Frenchie's talking to Squeeze-It.
Back to life.
back to reality. And Squeez-It gets out of the trash, goes into school in his filthy undergarments. He for sure had some skid marks. His whole ass was
He
black.
had to. His whole ass.
They took all the black they took off the blackface and they put it all on the back of Squeeze-It's fucking chonies. They were like, just throw that all on there.
Filthy.
And there's like, so we get to class that's chaos.
It's rowdy.
There's a kid dressed like Hitler, a pimp strangling a kid.
Yeah.
The Kipper twins who are now dressed as girls beating up on Frenchie. Flash
those
shooting up heroin. Yes,
rubber
the rubber bands holding their nose up. Flash shooting up heroin at his desk. And the teacher fires her machine gun into the ceiling to quiet them down. And then invites Squeeze-It up to say the pledge in front of the class. And now you didn't notice this before because he was in the trash can. That you realize that Squeeze-It's a chicken boy.
Yeah. He's a chicken boy.
He walks like a chicken, and he gets down on his little squats and does the little arm flaps, and he hops up on the teacher's desk, and he starts trying to sing, but he cock-a-doodle-doo, and everyone starts laughing, and he cries like buckets of tears. And the class all laughs at him, yeah. Of course. And the teacher calls everyone back to attention and introduces the new student, Frenchie, who this is where they say she's been studying in France. Because before this, it made no sense that she was part of the Hercules family.
No.
And she's still in her robe. So again, this is where there's some kids in the classroom that are fully dressed, but the family in this movie, besides Pa's wearing the suit, but I swear everyone else stays in their undergarments through this whole thing, or halfway,
or whatever,
at least from the waist down.
Which is okay.
And then fucking Johnny just shot Billy in the corner. A poker game gets out of hand. Oh, this is after she introduces herself by singing Mon Legionnaire in front of the class.
Right. And this is Josephine Baker's singing voice.
Oh, okay.
I think at this point.
And a poker game in the corner gets out of hand. Johnny just shot Billy. Well, the man was cheating. I had to do away with him, and that's all there was. It's just like...
I know, like it's all weird.
So she goes to send him to the principal, and he's like, "You ain't taking me nowhere, honky bitch. I didn't want to come to school anyway."
I know. And there's like this shootout over this class now, and now like Frenchie goes out the window because she's bored and disgusted with school.
Yeah, well, because she's getting held hostage, so she jumps out the window.
Yeah.
So yeah, bored and disgusted with school, she returns home to confide in her mother, who is unconscious, still on the floor.
Right.
And she just like pulls her up by her hair, like.
Yeah.
Mama,
no, never mind. Yeah, she's good.
All right, bye.
So she's going to take a little peek behind the door.
But of course, there's a loose roller skate right in front of the basement.
No. And she
whoop right down into the intestines of the forbidden zone.
Into the guts.
And that's where you can't do that on television.
That too.
Yeah.
And then she gets pooped out.
She gets pooped out of butt.
She gets straight pooped
onto
out
some
of
turd
butt.
pillows.
Right on top of the turd pillows.
On the dice painted floor. And she goes right into the Kipper twins' room.
Right. There she goes, just right in there.
They're in a boxing ring surrounded with an audience of paper versions of them. Bing, bong, boom. Bing, bong, boom. Bing, bong, boom. Bing, bong, boom. And this creepy fucking kid.
Oh.
In Mickey Mouse ears.
Right. Like jumps out. And apparently they were so like petrified that it's Matthew Bright's mouth.
Yeah, they transposed a mouth over his singing in Spanish.
Which also gives me like those old cartoons. I feel like they would do that in there too.
Fleischer cartoons. There you go.
Yes.
So Frenchie she's on board from fucking moment
like,
one.
No,
she
I'm
jumps in, she starts fucking dancing with the frogman. She's like, freak me, frogman. She's like backing that booty up. Come on, frogman.
Frogman.
And the topless princess runs in. She is topless the whole time in them granny panties.
Yes. She got them granny panties pulled up.
She's like, I don't like my belly button. She's like,
No,
I'll be topless, but you're not going to
titties.
see my belly button.
These titties are fine though.
So she has them seize the intruder.
Right.
And the Kipper kids just explode.
Yeah,
because why not?
Why not?
So
They'll be back.
She gets brought into the queen and king on their dice throne.
Yes.
And the princess and frogman bring in Frenchie. And why is the princess holding her hair up? Could they not find that whole first scene? She's holding her hair in a French twist with her hand. and never
They couldn't
never
get a
takes
clip.
her
No
hand
one had
down.
a bobby pin.
And then later her hair's just down.
Yeah, they were like, "Fuck it."
They're
forget
like,
it.
nobody can find the right combs. Sorry, no pins.
No pins, no combs.
So the king immediately starts crushing on Frenchie.
Put her in 63.
Yes, Queen's like, she's just another slab of meat for my dungeon.
Right, and he was like, "No, put her in there." And just so you know,
That's where he keeps his favorite concubines,
concubine,
which apparently includes Renee, who's in there
Yeah.
fucking silently drooling on the floor.
like Renee can't get no play though. Like
Renee is
wants,
trying to get play.
I bet Renee put herself down there. She like found she's all put me in
She's
that
all the
dungeon.
kinky sixth
How
dimension.
do I get in that dungeon?
Get me in there.
Mm-hmm.
And Frenchie realizes, because she's Squeeze-It's twin and looks exactly
Right,
like him,
right.
immediately who she is.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, the king must really like you.
Right.
So she, the princess comes in with that boy from before with the transposed mouth and says he's her pet.
Yes.
And she's like trying to put Frenchie with her pet or
Right,
whatever.
like I want you to like hook up with my pet, and she's like, "Fuck no."
No, she's like, why don't you get on our knees and give him what he really wants? And they both make raspberry tongues at each other. So, but Renee's trying to volunteer. She's like, my pet needs
I'll
a
do
mate.
it.
And Renee's like,
Like,
I
I'll
can
do
do
it.
it.
I will do it. I know,
please,
Renee's-
take me.
Renee's a go-getter.
She is. And the princess leaves, and the king is like taking photos from a window.
I know the little window.
The little king in the little window. Oh, and this is where Renee's like, lucky, the boss really noticed you.
really likes you.
And apparently Frenchie is also immediately into the king because she's like, how could he bear the touch of that queen, that old
know.
fat whore? And Renee's like, the queen's a very important person. She hurts me a lot, but I respect her.
But I respect her.
And this song, I'm
I
going to have
was
to post.
12,
Oh, this is the best one.
My
When
papa said, I
little
should
woman, better get
me
yourself
a
a wife. Because you're too mean for a man. So clean up your life. And yeah, so Susan Tyrell sings this amazing song about what a tough ass fucking bitch she is. And that she took off to find a man because she couldn't find a wife.
She was
hatched
from a witch's egg, doomed to fly high
like a crane
without
with no legs, which is such a weird. I had to put a question mark,
I
and then
know.
she said it again, and I'm like, no, she
No,
for
she
sure
said
said
the
a crane with no legs. All right, I get it.
Right. She
Fly
also
high.
fucked God.
Oh yes,
She fucked God. She fucked the devil.
and yeah, somehow she ended up with the king of the sixth dimension. So wait, if she fucked the devil, she fucked Danny Elfman,
Sure. That
and then
he's
he wants to
Satan.
fuck her daughter.
Well, she had to fuck both of them. I don't know.
I don't know. She was just trying to decide.
Doris is wildin' out here. Her Majesty.
And before we find out what happens, it's good time for a break.
Let's do it.
Be right back.
When I turned 12, Papa said, little woman, better get yourself a wife. 'Cause you're too mean for a man, so clean up your life. And if she's the devil, you know she'll be your friend.
Yes, you guys. I had to play just a little chunk, just because I can't.
Just a piece.
We can't recreate
No.
the amazingness of some of the music in this. So we're gonna see how much I can get away with. If there's another one,
Right.
like maybe even just the title song that plays at the beginning and
Right.
end. That's also
Maybe.
a really good one.
The Forbidden Zone.
Yeah,
song?
the Forbidden Zone song.
The one that's been stuck in my head is the Pico and Sybil.
And now that's one of the ones that I don't remember being in the one that I saw, but I might be wrong. I might be wrong. So anyway, so we're in
Right.
cell 63.
Right. Frenchie's singing. The king is watching. The queen sneaks up behind him and growls.
She growls and chases him and throws things at him.
Right.
And the dining room, still the human chandelier still up.
Right. Of
And
course.
they're chasing each other around the table, whatever. My, aren't you a jealous one? She's like,
It's just like the only thing I can think of every time that I see him is when he was in Fairy Tale Theater and he was Rumpelstiltskin.
oh, I don't know if I saw that one.
Yes, and Shelley Duvall's was the she was the Miller's gal.
Oh, the
And
Miller's
she
gal.
was the one that had to do all the things, and like little Hervé Villachez showed up. Oh, you don't know my name.
And it wasn't Rumpelstiltskin though. It was Hervé
It was
Villachez, and
right.
she
Like
couldn't
she had to
pronounce
think of
it.
it. She was like Herv.
So yeah, so they he talks about he's not going to compromise his position in life, his ancestry, his army for her jealousy. And he's talking about he has a whole army of zombies, which you only see briefly, like 5 guys who could maybe be zombies.
Well, he thinks it's a whole army.
And she tells him, you're really out to lunch.
Yes.
Look at this world you've cooked up. And you expect to take over the universe? You dumb fuck.
You dumb fuck.
And he's like, oh, just wait till the dead babies start marching. Then you'll be eating your words.
Right. And then like isn't it where he talks about like because she's French and the French are the master.
Because she wants to know why that French slit is so special.
Slit. She says that multiple times.
Because she's French.
Because she's
She's part of the master race, a direct descendant of God. She's like, you just want to slip her the pork. I'm on the next bus out of here. And she goes and lies down on the table, and he like gives her little kisses. And then he takes a running leap down the table at her.
Goes all the way to the other side of the table, climbs up on it, and takes a running leap. Do you think they did that in real life?
I mean, she
that
didn't
was
seem
part
shocked.
of
And the size difference, you can tell there is no time that they could kiss and fuck at the same time because if their mouths are touching, their groins ain't touching.
No.
I was
You
paying
made the
attention.
mathematical calculations.
That weird push-up move.
Right, the little.
I did the geometry.
You did
I got out my
sexual
fucking
geometry.
I got
your
out my compass.
sextet.
I'll just kiss you down here.
And the chandelier like kind of flips over like it's gonna watch. Like
Chandelier's a little freak.
but they go so long that the chandelier falls asleep. You just see limbs hanging while they're snoring under the blanket on the table, and he starts yelling harder, 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 Frenchie. Oh, in his sleep.
You little fucker.
So now it says on the screen it says the family panics when they discover Frenchie is missing, and they are not. They don't care that she's missing at this point.
Everyone's still pretty chill. So now back at the table, the chandelier is now dead. Has she been there this long?
No, I think it's just asleep.
I think there was a skeleton.
Oh, it was a skeleton now? I totally missed that. Wow, I did not even see that.
No, it was a skeleton. I know I said, is it dead?
Yes.
But like, it's a skeleton. So yeah, probably.
I don't know. They're in the 6th dimension.
I know.
When it showed the cartoon in the beginning, skeletons were playing the music.
That's true. Like I'm saying, I don't know how long she's been there. Maybe she's been there so long the chandelier died.
I don't know. So the Frogman
was inconsolable.
Frogman brings Frenchie to the king, and she's now also in this Mickey hat.
Right.
And he warns her the queen may have her executed or tortured. So he's like painting this picture.
Right. He's doodling, but he's painting this picture. And this is an actual painting by LA painter Robert Blue. And it was stolen in real life not long after this movie.
And is this Betty Page?
Yeah, Betty Page. And
Spanking a blonde?
Lily St. Cyr. I had all these pictures like that I decoupaged onto a cigar box. And
As you did.
Well, yeah, in high school. And it was like my pencil box. And I took it to school. And they told me, they're like, you can't bring this to school anymore. And not that there was no nudity, but it was all the bondage pictures. They're like, you just can't, like, we can't tell you that, like...
We can't tell you why.
Right, we can't really tell you why. We just don't want you to bring this to school anymore.
I got the same thing for when Drew Barrymore did that campaign for, it wasn't the Playboy thing, but she did like a mostly topless maybe guess, or I don't know, where it was like hands covering tits only or something. And I had that all over my folder.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, no,
you can't have that.
have
Like,
that
well,
in
what's
class.
wrong with there's no nudity.
Right.
And they're like, she's got a ball gag in her mouth. Like, you can't bring that to school.
No. And so Frenchie loves his painting, and he throws her down. They start making out, and Frogman's like panicking, running back and forth, like, oh no, another fucking secret I have to keep.
I know.
So now back to quote unquote real life, and the teacher is teaching the alphabet in class, and this alphabet song.
I know. It's a mutated version of Swinging the Alphabet from the Three Stooges. Violet is the word for curly. And violent is the word for curly.
I didn't write down any of the words. I just know that when they got to F, and it was Flash's turn.
F-U-C-K-U-U-U.
Fuck you.
Gay.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up.
So Flash wants to go search for his sister, but Squeez-It's like, the teacher will never let us out early. So he just jumps out the window.
Right. There runs in the family, this jumping out the window shit.
So he goes home, unties Gramps. They're going to go save Sis, and they head down to the Forbidden Zone. Pooped out the butt.
Oh.
What?
Oh, this was where... Oh, never mind. This is where there was a commercial break. I was like,
Oh.
why do I have Drew Barrymore written down right here? That's weird.
Was
that you
there a
just
Drew
mentioned
Barrymore
her.
commercial?
There was a Drew Barrymore commercial that was like, it was for bingo, like online bingo.
Yes, she's
and it
doing
was like everyone was talking about sex though, like how bingo was better than sex.
Come
Drew.
on now. Drew.
Trying to do a Harry Met Sally thing.
I don't. Yeah, it was something like that. Like I'll have
There's
what
a
they're
lot of
having.
super famous people in like mobile video game commercials
Yes.
right now, and I'm like, what is happening? What kind of money these mobile video game
Apparently,
people got?
they're paying Drew Barrymore money because she's doing these things that make bingo sound like sex.
That's so weird.
Like, frankly, I'm worried about your party, and I'm worried your needs aren't being met, Drew.
Seriously, is she single right now?
I don't know, but get the fuck out of my lap.
Yeah, Drew, back the fuck off. We're in a post-pandemic world.
You need to get your eyeball off of my fucking eyeball.
Saliva off of
I
your
would
guests.
rather you not be in
And
my
yes,
fucking
your
face.
eyelashes and eyeballs off of their eyelashes
I
and
love
eyeballs.
you, Mother Drew, but
We
please
love
stop
you,
it.
but just back the fuck
just
up.
back the
Everybody
fuck up.
wants to do a Spaceballs to her, so she can't.
Yes, just back up.
Back it up, Drew.
So they get there and there's like an anti-Semitic racist kind of
Right.
money lender or whatever, money
That's their
changer guy.
grandfather.
That's the one who's their grandfather.
That's the one that's their grandfather. So is it?
I don't know.
Because
And he hits them up right away like, you got to exchange for the local currency.
right, and he gives them he tells them for 3 shekels.
Mm-hmm.
He can tell them how to do
Save
all
their
of this, that
sister or
save
whatever.
Save their sister.
So he whispers something to him, but tells him if the queen finds out what the king is doing to the girl, she'd moita the poor
She'll
girl.
moita her like, oh, she's the Goyle in 63.
And the frogman is behind them as they sneak in.
Right, and is there 2 different frog?
I don't think so. I think it's just the one. But he all over the place.
I
He's a
know,
frogman.
like he
be
works
hopping.
for like that's what the only thing that I could figure out is that the frogman, since he works for both of them, has to do what both of them say,
yeah,
even if it contradicts
pretty much.
the other.
That was what I got.
Okay, good.
So he gives the frogman some money to go buy him some smokes, and it works for a second.
Right.
He like walks off and then gives himself a little smack on the head, like, oh.
And isn't this also where the money changer recognizes Gramps as like the killer Rosenblatt?
Yeah,
the
something
Jewish
like
wrestler?
that. Something like that, yes. And so I guess because they're supposed to be Jewish, it's not racist.
I guess so.
So, and then Flash and Gramps just casually humping the strung up girls.
I know, like just every time they get a moment, every time they find somebody,
And like they
some sort of
still have
hostage.
their underwear on, so
I
I don't
know,
know what
it's
all is
just-
happening other than a dry hump,
but still, the implications.
the implications.
It's the implications.
So cut to the queen screaming, liar!
Yeah.
I'll give you one more chance to live. And she's talking to Flash and Gramps. She's got Frogman caught up with them.
Right. And like they accidentally tell her that the king is in love with
Frenchie, and the queen is jealous, and he's immediately like,
He's like,
"Oops, you're the
oh, you're the
queen."
queen. So down in the fucking hole you go into the
Royal
regal
septic tank. Yep. And this is where the queen's one titty clause is enacted.
Right.
We first see the popping of the titty.
She pop a titty every time she gets mad.
Well, if the princess is her daughter, she got it from somewhere.
Well, that's
she
true.
got both
She's got
titties out
both
because
titty
Mama always
claws.
got one titty out.
right. So the next generation has to do twice as good as the generation before.
So now it says the queen takes her revenge.
And now
Oh,
I have a question. Spoiler alert. Is this Princess Doris's daughter or the other queen's daughter?
at some point they say to Doris, they have your daughter. Like he tells her it's
Oh.
her daughter, but at the end she's there like nothing fucking happened to her mom. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
So the
It's
queen
the
takes
forbidden
her
zone.
revenge. Renee is like crucified, but
Right.
just chained up to a cross.
Right, and like the
queen's
queen's getting
rubbering up.
rubberized, right?
She's rubbering
And that
up.
zipper is not catching, Miss Doris, Your Majesty. The zipper is not catching. It falls down. She's like, oh,
And them
feeling herself.
squeaky thigh highs, boots
I know.
and gloves. You know, when she walked in, it was like,
Right? She got that whole torture song. She don't give it to that bitch.
Renee's singing a sad, sweet song about saving Frenchie's ass.
Right.
Frenchie's strapped to a table. The queen comes in with fistfuls of rubber snakes.
Right. And then she's like, bring me the electric dildo.
Right. So the queen takes off and leaves it to the princess and the king's zombies who are
Right.
chained up there and are very tall on
Yes.
stilts.
Yes.
To give her the electric dildo. And she's about to ram it up her when a fuse blows.
Oh no!
And then cut to a little animation of Gramps ripping open the septic tank and shit flooding them back up to the top where they're miraculously not covered in shit.
But they are followed by a gorilla.
Randomly, a gorilla we've never seen.
Nope, that hasn't been
Just
there this
shows
whole
up
time.
and chases them.
Was possibly also in the septic tank, but also not covered in shit.
No.
Through a basketball game.
And
Yes.
Flash falls into another portal straight into the toilet of the ex-queen's prison cell.
And just immediately humps her.
yeah. She's
'Cause she's
in
in a
some
cell.
sort of weird like leather tied up.
I know, it's like she's like in a...
It's like a leather straitjacket, but not. Her arms
Right.
aren't tied up.
Uh-uh.
And she's got a little typewriter in there. She's like typing her memoirs while she's locked away.
She's writing a novel.
Oh, a screenplay, she
Oh,
says.
that's right.
A screenplay. And Graham's still up there. He's pulverized this gorilla's face.
Yes.
Like,
beaten
it looks like
to-
cat food.
to a pulp.
But Flash gets him out of there by spinning his magic hat propeller
Right.
to fly them back up.
As one does. And by the time they get up there, he's like, well, let's go. And she's like, I got to change the Tampax.
Bye.
See
She
ya.
just bails.
See you later.
So back upstairs in the real world, Pa and Ma are at the table, still not noticing everyone is gone.
But all of the headlines on the newspaper keep saying that people are
He
missing.
only reads the inside of the paper. He
He
does
never
not look
looks
at the front.
outside.
And Pa dances past the conga line to work.
Pico and Sepulveda. Pico and Sepulveda. Doheny.
It's a whole song full of LA street names.
Coenga.
And he goes to work at the La Brea Tar Pit Factory.
Yes.
And it's a big sign about like don't smoke around this
Right,
stuff.
because
And then
it's like tar gas and shit.
they blow the whistle and everyone who works there lights up their smokes
Yep,
at
it's
once.
a smoke break.
But Pa, like an idiot,
Right.
throws his smoke into the tar,
Oh no.
blows himself sky high. And Huckleberry P. Jones, who you'll remember from the beginning, our now in whiteface character,
Right.
is in bed with Ma, asking where her retarded Swedish husband, when does he get home?
Right. And I didn't even realize that he was speaking in
I
a
thought he had
somewhat
like a
Swedish
German accent.
until later after
Yeah.
he mentions it.
Yeah. And Pa falls right back down straight into the forbidden zone.
Oh no, real quick. Just bop 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 bop.
And he finds these big ladies chained up eating bananas, and he tips his hat to them. He doesn't hump them like his son
No.
and grandfather do.
Right? He composes himself around the hostages.
Walks past Frogman fucking the princess from behind in
Yeah.
another room.
Yeah, because that's just a thing that
And
happens.
he just looks
around
by
here.
like, whoa.
Whoa, all right.
And
I'm
the Frogman comes
surprised.
chasing him.
That there is no pink Cadillac over here getting it in the back.
And the chase commences.
Yes, Pa's captured.
Banana, because all the banana peels on the floor.
Banana oil.
And he gets locked up. Flash and Gramps find him, but he doesn't want to be rescued.
No, just leave me here.
He's fine. He's fine
I
there.
like
Have you
it
seen
here.
his wife?
I know.
Have you seen his life?
His wife is his life.
Meanwhile, ...
Squeeze-It is now chicken boy.
Yeah, he's asleep with the chickens, and his mom, who's Susan Tyrell in like a Wicked Witch of the West
She
knows.
looks like witchy poo.
Yes. She's macking it with some sailor and is like, you want to
Who is
see
the
Chicken
maniac?
Boy? Yes, you want to see Chicken Boy? And she unlocks the door and shows her son to this man. And she's like, meet your pop.
Ew.
And he's like, oh, this is my dad? And he's like, I ain't your dad. Unless we got chickens in the family.
No.
And she like, the dude punches him and
I
she
know,
pours
she
her
just-
alcohol in
I
him. And he's
know.
like, but I love you.
I
It's
know,
so
it's
sad.
sad.
The sailor drags her off by her, I wrote by her toddies.
By her like armpits, he
I don't
drags
know
her
why I
out of
wrote
there.
he
Maybe
dragged
by
her
her,
by her
titties.
toddies.
Her toddies. He's gonna scalp her.
And Squeeze-It goes over to type on his
Like,
typewriter.
I know about this whole sad
And
story.
this chicken starts talking to him,
as chickens do.
starts encouraging him.
You can do it. Squeeze it. Believe in you.
And cut to Flash and Gramps wandering around the Forbidden Zone when Flash is pulled into a room and Gramps finds the Spanish kid eating and fucking beats his ass for his pie. He just he
Right?
eats it like fucking what was Ralphie's little brother in Christmas Story.
Randy.
Yeah, when she
Show
tells
me
Randy
how
to
the
eat his
piggies
potatoes.
eat. Show me.
And then Flash comes back all beat up with his clothes torn off, which I don't think we even see
What
happened
happens?
to him. There's a phone on the table, and like you can just call apparently from the
I
Forbidden
guess
Zone
so.
upstairs.
So he naturally calls Squeeze It and Squeeze It to the rescue.
He flaps himself down to the Forbidden Zone.
But he's caught by the mystic knights of Oingo Boingo and taken to see Satan instead.
Yes, he gets knocked out by a boxer, and then they drag him into their little room, and they the princess is there tweaking her titties at them,
Of course.
flapping her little cheeks and blowing raspberries.
Abandon hope, all ye who enter here.
And they let Squeeze-It know that basically their boss like really wants to put his dick in that.
He really, really wants to.
And now Danny is in there conducting the knights in a jaunty tune.
A jaunty.
Hada, 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 hada.
I know.
And more
Which
of that.
is all from those cartoons.
Yeah. And so basically Squeeze-It asks the devil to bargain with him.
Right.
And he's like, you deliver the princess, who, now, is it just me? Does she not give you his wife vibes, the princess? Does she not look like a young fucking Bridget Fonda?
A little bit.
Walking around topless in her fucking granny panties?
Jackie Brown.
Yes, that same hairstyle.
Yeah. Oh.
And so Squeeze-It immediately just runs out, scoops up the princess, carries her back, which like really the devil couldn't do that.
I know. Like that was easy.
And why does she now act like a chicken when she comes back in?
I know.
He transferred his chickenness to her, like a sexually transmitted fucking disease.
It's the chicken pox.
Oh, shit. And so, congratulations, you really deliver. This little girl makes me shake and shiver.
Look at my scary face.
And he really leans hard into
those
making all the
teeth.
creepiest fucking faces he can make. Yeah. But like, even though Squeeze-It did this, he still got to lose his head.
Yeah, he still gets beheaded.
And this is
after all of
now
that.
the first time that I noticed is the princess have heterochromia.
Oh no!
When they did a close
Back
up of her
to back?
face, I think she might have. Do we got David Bowie and now the princess?
Well,
I
no,
swear
we had
one.
David Bowie and also Montgomery from the last one, and then this.
Holy shit! It's not January. It's fucking
Heterochromia.
heterochromia. Do we have? Is there someone in the next one that's got it too?
Oh,
That might be 3 in a row. Well, and David Bowie didn't really
No,
have
he doesn't.
heterochromia,
It was just
but one dilated,
Yeah, it was
super
the
dilated
pupil.
eye or whatever. But anyway, so unaware of her daughter's capture, the queen distracts herself with her peccadillos or whatever.
from her husband's picadillo.
Oh, yes. So she's getting a massage from Richard Elfman
No, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you.
while the king checks up on his plump prisoners. And the masseur, Richard Elfman, is annoying the queen with his Yiddish Charleston.
Yes, the Yiddish Charleston, which is the thing that happens, and it's not to the queen's liking. So
She shoots him with a ray gun and evaporates him.
yeah, it's
Thank
like
you.
that. Thank you. He probably should have left that same set of scary teeth. They all share them. In fact, they all share. It's the same set. They all have to.
They
Like,
just
since childhood,
take
they all
turns.
take
Take
turns with
turns.
the teeth.
The king comes to save Frenchie, and Renee says that the queen has threatened to ream them with 20-inch cattle prods, but I'm still waiting.
I'm still waiting.
Renee wants it
I know.
bad.
God, will somebody please sexually
You brought
torture
me to the
Renee?
horny dimension, and no one
No
will
one-
fuck me. Can you
No
either
one
just
will
let me
touch
go or
not
fuck me?
one of my fucking holes.
No. King and the
Jeez.
king has Frenchie unchained and orders her to leave at once. He also lets Renee go.
Right.
Gives Frenchie a kiss goodbye. And the frogman runs to tell the queen what happened. And she's like, seriously?
Come on, you let her go?
The only thing I fucking asked you to do.
I know. Well, again, this is where I was like, oh, the frog works for both of them.
Yeah. So en route to safety, Renee is stricken with pseudo menstrual cramps. It's just frothing at the mouth.
Yes, it gets that bad.
It-
Love pseudo ones.
I know.
Yeah, that was for real.
And the frogman catches up and gets Frenchie.
Right.
And Squeeze-It's head, which now has angel wings.
Yeah, flies it on chicken wings.
Or yes, chicken wings. Yeah, they look
probably
more like chicken wings. Comes to the king and tells him where the princess is and that the queen captured everyone again.
Right.
So the queen goes down to the dungeon and throws some girl into a bunch of dudes in
Right,
fezzes
to
in
be,
a
like,
cage.
raped to
be
death?
group raped to death?
Sure.
Well, they don't rape her to death. They rape her and then they throw her into a
into
pit
the
with
pit.
spikes
Right.
and she's impaled.
Right. That's what you do.
That's better somehow.
Sure. And Renee's into it.
Renee's like, well,
Please.
she'll jump in there in a second.
Right,
But
I'll
first,
get in there, yeah.
The ex-queen comes in and sees all this happening.
Oh.
Frenchie kicks the frogman in the dick, and that makes him run into a pit and die.
I guess.
He
but-
ran over there.
when the ex-queen comes in or whatever, she's like, your buns smell like locks, honey. I can smell it from here.
And so she's like, she pulls a switchblade. This is going up your asshole as soon as I'm finished with Queenie.
And it's a queen fight with cat noises, of course.
Yes, it's an actual cat fight with the noises and all. And they back each other up to the pit ledge.
Oh, no. And then, but meanwhile,
Flash and Gramps are humping prisoners again when the
course,
king comes
that's
to get their
exactly
help.
what I wrote, and they have to they free everybody.
And Ma is now home alone, just watching the clock spin, finally wondering where
did
fuck is everybody
fucking go? So now the queens are kissing instead of killing.
But Doris throws that queen over the side.
Sucker bitch.
And how come that titty again?
I know. Here comes that. She's like, nothing can stop me now, not me or my titty. And here come the boys a humping.
Yes. And then the queen comes in to whip the unruly prisoners back into shape and take we had forgotten about the knife or whatever that got thrown into Renee's leg during their fight. So she pulls the knife out and comes for Frenchie. And yes, Flash and Gramps come in again and again, start humping. They cannot keep on task.
And here is where the queen has the one titty out.
And this is where he says, if you kill the girl, they'll kill the princess. You would be killing your own daughter.
Right.
So it's Doris's daughter.
Okay.
And she cries and stops. And Renee gets in. This is when Renee gets into the cage with the Fez guys.
Right?
Please fuck me in the asshole.
I know.
She
Please.
just is like anything. Please.
Get me in the savage rapist pit, please.
I will stay here forever.
So then Ma comes in. I guess she got bored.
Just all cash.
Like, hey, what's up, everybody? I'm armed.
Shoots the queen right between the titties. Dies with a titty and a half out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That left one was out, and then that right one tried to get
jealous.
in on the act.
It was jealous.
It was like, boop, hello. And then the king runs up.
And as he holds her as she dies, and she's like, why does it feel so good to be
so bad?
You're the only decent thing in my life.
Tell me.
Oh,
I love the way your nipples stiffen
even when I
caress them with my fingertips.
Oh, Fausto. Dead. And he
She
just
died.
chucks her into the pit
I
with
know,
the rest
like,
of the
I guess.
people.
Well, I'm just going to roll her out over there.
He does shed a little tear
He's
looking
very
down at his
sad.
pile of dead wives.
I know, like, oh.
And Squeeze-It's head flies over, says nothing, just looks sad.
I know.
And then it says on the screen, heartbroken by the death of his queen, the Forbidden Zone plunges into mourning.
Which is, of course, a dance number in the Great Hall where Frenchie
Cut
is now
to
the queen.
Everybody happy. Mickey Mouse ears for all. Frenchie's
it's the
the
Forbidden
queen.
Zone.
And even the princess, whose mother is dead, is fucking thrilled. You are my kingy, my core desire. She fucking sings a whole song, whatever. This must be heaven. I've got my Fausto. And
Right.
everyone sings a little bit.
Yeah.
Except for fucking Ma,
No.
who saved the day.
Right.
You don't see her ass in any
Nope.
of this closing
She
montage.
does not get to have
Pa's happily strung up on the cross. Everyone else lives in the Forbidden Zone, and apparently Ma went back
Maybe
upstairs
she went back home. They were
to
like,
live in
she's
her
all-
house quietly and peacefully.
Right? And read her newspaper and get with her clown.
Maybe she got up there with Huckleberry.
Huckleberry
Huckleberry Jones. And then explosions, stars,
Right.
closing music. Oh, I should have loaded up that song because that's a good song. Hold on, let's see how quickly.
Load it up.
How quickly can I find it?
Can you find it very
Fill for
quickly?
time for me.
Do we have any other things after you find that song?
We do have an email, I believe. Oh wait, here we
Ooh,
go.
We got that
Let's
to
see.
look forward to.
Play.
Oh, I did it.
Oh. Come on, play the music. Though.
Birds.
Oh, it's playing like the whole
God
freaking
damn
intro
it.
though. Wait, skip. No, not that part.
No, that's
The
not the
song.
Hey!
So yeah, if you like Oingo Boingo,
Well, yeah.
this is worth a watch just for
If
the
you like
for
those
the
old
soundtrack.
cartoons.
Yeah, that too,
If you want to see something completely demented,
for sure. It's on Tubi, like
Yeah.
you said right now. The
it's
director's,
the director's
cut.
cut. You could go watch it on there for free. It's got some commercial breaks with Drew Barrymore that will make you think bingo is sex.
And yeah, this one, I mean,
Maybe you'll see the Travago guy with his big ass teeth.
by the time I saw this, I was already doomed to love, unfortunately, Danny Elfman's
I
music
know.
because I'd already seen so many movies with
I
scores
know.
of his.
Well, everything.
So many of our favorite things were scored by him. So, but
You know what? I saw somebody say something, and I guess it like to varying degrees, but like you can still kind of like those things because it's mine now. It's mine now.
Right.
It's not
It's
yours
mine.
anymore.
It's in
mine.
my memory banks. It belongs
Right.
to
It's
me.
mine now.
It's part
It
of
belongs
my
to me. It
life.
has nothing to do with you anymore.
Yeah.
So-
I've adopted it. It's
Right?
not yours now.
It's not yours now. It belongs to me.
So we have an email, and I bet you can guess who it's from.
Is it Leo?
It's Leo.
He's the only one that sends us emails anymore.
He is. This one's about The Thing. The Thing, or as my dad used to call it, The Thang, will always be one of my favorite Carpenter movies. It was the final stamp on the era of practical effects, and me and my siblings still quote the dialogue and conversation to this day. Also, whenever we have our first big snow of the winter season, me and a buddy grab some beers and watch this. It's been a tradition for many years now. Happy New Year and cheers to another great episode. Later, Doomers.
That's cool.
Watch Clark and watch him close. Do you hear me?
Oh.
Thank you, Leo.
Wilford Brimley.
Oh no, Jessica Tandy, pussy like candy.
That's what they used to say about her.
They called her Jessica Candy. That's what. So Cody from Least Haunted was asking if we have a new promo, and I told him, "Look, we're really trying because we're trying to do a
I know,
clips
but
promo."
everything
I
is
said, "But all our
filthy."
best clips are filthy, and so like not really appropriate to distribute on like major platforms." And I said, "You can't just put an ad out about how Jessica Tandy's pussy is amazing." And he's
Right.
all, "I heard they used to call her Jessica Candy," and I was like, "Yep, there you
Yes,
go."
they did. Yes,
There
they
you
did. It
go.
is a known fact.
And we may have, if there's not a ad of theirs in this episode, there probably will be soon because they're starting to make their own hot sauces. And you know how I can't resist
I
bartering
do.
for some hot sauce, for some free hot sauce.
I do love a hot
So
sauce.
I told them I'd throw a promo in here for some free hot sauce. So
Who?
maybe Least Haunted.
Oh, I was
They're
like,
making
wait.
their own hot sauces. Nice. So yeah, I was like, oh yeah, we'll do a free promo for some hot sauce.
Oh.
In your butt.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you'll have that to think about.
So yeah, this one was more Janu-weirdy than Janu-eerie, but
Weirdy was another way that could have gone.
This is the January / Janu-weirdy month.
Yeah, we just decided.
because
'cause
yes,
the next
this is
one
a
gets
fucking
weird,
weird one,
too.
and the next one is both. Yes,
Yeah, the
both
next one is
eerie
also
and
both.
weirdy.
Eerie and weirdy.
So till next week.
We'll talk at you next time.
Later, Doomers.